Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 3 of Series 2 of the 2025 Sim Racing Online World Series. This is 4 series combined into 1 year-long quest for the Cup. Today we are at Korea International Raceway, a very obscure track that was used around 2010 to 2013-14, and then suddenly it just kind of stopped. Funding was down and participation was down, and yeah, from then on it was something that they just couldn't facilitate anymore. So with that said, let's get a quick look here at what some of the practice times are in this event. We are getting ready for 90 minutes of racing, and it's going to be a treat today. We've got some guys back in action. Randy Merrick is back with us today after having a few technical difficulties over the past few weeks. We got Andrew Harper joining us today. He has missed the first couple rounds, but he is back in action and ready to race today. So this could be quite a battle. Let's see, we got the field set. We've got a couple of minutes left in practice here, about 5 minutes until we get to the actual racing. So with that said, let's step into a couple of cars and see what's going on with hello, how you doing with these drivers? And while we're doing that, we'll just kind of follow these guys around the track a little bit, find somebody that's out there, and I want to show you a couple things as far as the scoring goes. This is a pretty good battle, so give you a little bit of a look at the scores and how the points all work out. You can see also the availability of the point. It starts at 40 for first, down to 36, so it drops a little bit. Give you a kind of an idea of what the cars we're using today. So you guys can just kind of check that out as we cruise along here. I think we're currently following Lewis Middleton, his P2 class. Kind of get an idea. This track is insane. It's got 18 turns. There's a really awesome twisty section that is going to have lots of action. So we'll try to follow the pace as these guys get through that stuff. Going to be quite crazy. So there you have those. Should get a good idea of what's going on with the points there. You know, Roman Granatovich has won the first 2 in the GTE class, and Nick Westy just you know, those points behind there. So it's a pretty good race in both classes. So on with that. See what the heck's going on. So get a look at what kind of lap times are coming across as we narrow it down to a few minutes to quali. Still waiting for some drivers to get in here. We are missing a lot of the GTE class. I think it's a busy week for some folks in the real world, so can't always get everybody, but hopefully we will have, like I think we have 5 already. I think there were 8 that were registered for today, so hopefully the other 3 will get in here at least before quali is over. I think we have a 15-minute quali session, and the quali session will be private. So there won't be any traffic on to mess with as you're going through traffic. And just want to touch base on a couple things, like what makes this all possible is our sponsor, Liberty Footwear. They have really stepped up to help us out and given us the ability to stream these live races to you. So let's have a look at what they have to offer for us. These are all handmade in America. These guys are custom footwear designers and builders. So if you need a good set of boots or some hiking shoes or anything like that, follow these guys on the website. Make sure that you tell them that Randy sent you. That will pass along, but they know that it's coming from this website. So you enjoy stylish performance in the safety, hiking, everyday wear, custom fit boots, handcrafted in Michigan, USA by these guys. Don't forget to give those guys a holler. If anything, just drop by their site and tell them thanks for sponsoring these races. That would be really cool. So, yeah, back to the timing. As we count the minutes down to, it should be just about time to go to quali. So, excuse me. We'll see who's going to take pole, who's going to be chasing. I'm telling you, this track is just crazy. I'll give you a quick look there with the track map, as you can see. I mean, what the heck? That one section. So you have the two long straights. You have start finish on a short straight, and then you have the long straight after turn 2. And then another medium straight at the end. And then you have this series of big S's, little S's. Just crazy business. So it's going to result in some crazy racing. You see the circuit, it was designed by the German Mr. Teike, right? Hermann Teike. He was given the responsibility to design the track, and it's part permanent and part temporary. The temporary part is along the harbor side of the province, where the spectators from the promenade, hotels, the yacht clubs, and the yacht, they can view the race, and part of the city can also see, and exhibition facilities as we get ready to move into practice. So, I mean, into quali. But it was a little controversy in the pit lane because the pit lane is also a right-hander on the apex. So the right-hander on the apex. So people slowing down for the pits as people are coming out of that high-speed turn. It was a little controversial that somebody might get rear-ended as they're slowing down for the pits. So keep that in mind as we cruise along here, as we are waiting for the first drivers to head out in quali. With that, we will get the qualification boxes up there. We can see we're focused on Carl right now. I'm looking at, looks like Matej Descobler is the first one out. Excuse me. So he will be on his preliminary lap for the P2s anyway. And the flying Finn, Tony Talavitier, he is the first one out for the GTEs, followed by Jean van der Geest. Those two are both on track, or everybody else is in the pit. And it looks like we got a little bit of a stall. Players are, excuse me, players are coming and going, trying to figure it out to get themselves online. So we will deal with that in this first 15 minutes of quali. I'm sure there might be a couple drivers coming and going. So we will just have to see how it ends up at the end of it. As we watch Van der Geest here. Navigating, he's in that crazy twisty turn section where in the heavens to Betsy are ya? I don't know. It's so mixed up in here. Lots of turns. All right. As we did lose one of the GTE drivers, so hopefully they'll be coming back. Let's take a look at Nick Westy in that proto. So Westy and Carl Middleton are in a pretty good battle for the lead so far, although it's an 11-point gap. Try to navigate these turns in these P2s. Good stuff. Let's get a look at Westy. I think he's out there now. Or we already are looking at him. Duh. As their outlaps are coming to Just about ready to start finish. He's in that last turn there. You can see that's where the pit in is in that line. It's really sketchy. So here we go. First time lap for Mr. Westy. I believe Middleton is already on a time lap. So let's jump to him since he's a little further down the track. And we can see he's going to set up a sector time here that might be something to shoot for. As he makes his way through. Here's that crazy section. There's the left, there's the right, there's another left. And then as sector 1 ends, you get a little bit of a break right here, and here is the sector line right here, right there where the pavement changes, and now he's into sector 2, where he's got a little bit of a more high-speed sweepers on the left and the right. A little bit of a break right here, and then there's also elevation changes. So you'll notice if you watch from the dash in some of these laps that there's some blind entries going into these turns. So he's speeding his way down. Another big sweeping left. And then it's left, right, left. And here is the sector 2 line. Now he's in sector 3. A little bit of oversteer there. Makes his way through. Coming up. And then you will see that controversial pit entrance right there. So he's got Escobar with a 158, Middleton 0.6 above him, so there we go. Where he sits there. Let's see, the other GTE driver has not made it back in. Granatovich, he's up on top. Talvitier put the 207 up. Granatovich on, I'm sorry, he is on his first time lap. My bad. I'm looking at two different screens here. And Talvitier with that 207 gives him a target. Now last week, Talvitier missed the race and Granatovich had a walk in the park. And here comes Jill. Jill has in the pits, so we got our 5th GTE back. So that's good to see. As Granatovich pulls within just that 0.107 of Talvitier's time. Meanwhile, let's get back to the Protos, the Scobler, making his way around. Yellow in sector 1, so not going to do it this lap. I wouldn't think he's going to have to do it, although he is only down a couple of 0.200. Let's see where Mr. Taylor, 158.2 and a 158.8 for Carl. Robin Taylor's a 159.1, so just a hair back. As let's follow Matej here to see where he's at. You know, he's yellow, and so he's not going to improve on that time. So where is Mr. Middleton? Here is Carl, currently in P2. And he is in that last sector 3. And he was purple in sector 1, but he lost it all in sector 2. You can see he must have had off there. So Peter Jones, who was very competitive last time, let's see where he's at. So this is his first timed lap. Or second rather, but I mean he's starting a fresh lap, so man, he's just into sector 1 there. Guys cross. Harper's having a little bit of issues. Harper has had an off back there. And a lot of these guys have never seen this track before. It's the first time, so that's to be expected a little bit. I had to turn my mic down here. It looks a little bit hot on my end. It's going into the red. So bear with me if that happens. But look, you can see Peter Jones is purple in sector 1. So he is putting it together. I think he's really got this thing down. It's very smooth. Coming into sector 3. Let's see, sector 2 time is green, so personal best and purple. Let's see what he's got. He's coming up on the last couple of turns here. This really tricky lefty. This is really tight. And then coming around, and now you're going to see the pit entrance here. See that line? It's kind of on the apex, so let's see what he can do. So not bad. Oh, what had happened? I'd lost him. Anyway, that was a pretty decent lap. He put himself in second, just 0.137 off. So nice lap by Mr. Jones there, Peter Jones. We have two Jones. We have Ed Jones. He is also out on track. So Ed Jones. Here is Ed. Putting in a time lap. Get back with him. Nick Westy. Where is Westy? He's currently P3. And he's coming around the last section too. Let's see. But he's yellow in the yellow. You can see he must have had it off. Pichler currently in 7th. He's just getting into sector 2 right now. So here's Philip Pichler. A little bit off in sector 1, about a second, so not going to be his best time. Carl Strohal is coming around. He's a green in 1 and just probably still be a little bit better with his green lap in sector 1. It's not quite as bad as his mistake in sector 2. So it looks like he still might be a couple of tenths up on his other time. Let's see what he comes across as. A 2:02. So keeping him down in that mid-pack battle. Matej up on top, still with that 158.2. Leading the way, starting a fresh lap. Peter Jones. Check on Mr. Jones, and he is off this lap. You can see his sectors are off. So let's check on Nick Westy, current P2 points leader. He's on an out lap, so we'll get back to him. Carl Middleton, also on an out lap. Costas with that 159.016. He's yellow in the yellow, so not looking to improve as he comes into the pits. Robin Taylor's Nick Westy's teammate. He's on a hot lap here. Currently in 6th, he can move himself up. We will get back with that. It looks like Granatovich has jumped Tony Talvitier just by about 2.202 or so seconds. You can see Talvitier. So here is Talvitier. That 2:07.011 is the time to beat for Talvitier. His last lap was a 2:07.382, so he's just 0.2 something off. Taking a stab, going to shoot for that pole. Should be some good racing in the GTE between these two, and then also matched up really well will be Jones and Gilles. Talvitier, hold your ears here. That Porsche. This Aero Racers mod is so cool. It's an older mod, but man, it just is really good racing. Tony is yellow in sector 1, so only by 0.007, so still has a chance. Because he's only, and now that kind of spoiled it for him. Bumping the wall there, so we don't know what kind of damage he's got. But yeah, that's not going to do it for him. As he's getting ready to cross the line, he's coming through those last couple turns. Vandergeest just behind him. Let's jump to John to see how he's doing. He's on an out lap as he's going to cross the line to start another time lap. Another Porsche driver as he's puts in his bid as we are under, just at the 3-minute mark rather, remaining in queue. So things are stacking up pretty good. It's like Lavelle and Merrick from the P2 class are in the pits waiting it out. So let's see, 158.099 is now Matej's. Let's get back to the P2s really quick. Here is Matej. He is up in both or down in both sectors there, so not going to be an improvement. Peter Jones, he's on an out lap, so not going to be there. But these guys are just separated by tenths. Here is Westy Purple in sector 1. He's going to make his bid for the pole right here. So he's got a shot. Look at that. He is 0.3 up. So he's got an opportunity. Purple in sector 2 as well. He is pushing for the pole. This could be it as we hit the 2-minute mark. Crushing this sector 2. The old start finish there for the alternate route. And he's given up the lap, or did he cross it over? He did. I'm way off. I'm sorry. 58.018. Wow. He just gets him by thousandths. That was something else. Does Matej have anything for him? He's on a ripper now. He's got time. He's actually got time to get around again and start another lap if this one fails. So look at the difference of 0.18 to a 0.81. So mere thousandths separating the top two P2 cars. And it looks like Matej is off almost a half a second in sector 1. So he will have another shot at it. Excuse me. Let's see where Carl's at. Because Carl is right in those 158s as well. Not too far back. Let's check on Carl. Excuse me. Green and green. So if he can pull off a sector 3 miracle, he might jump himself up there. Westy's sitting on that. Bernardo, Salviti, Vandergeest, and Jones are pretty much set in the GTEs. I think those guys are set. Let's see what happens with Carl as he comes across the line. Purple in the last sector, and it does move him into second, knocking Matej down into third. So where is Matej? And he's yellow and yellow. This looks like Carl is going to keep himself up there. And is he sticking it out for another lap? Because he did cross the line in time. Excuse me. Wow, so we are down as the checkered flag is now out. Quali is over. These laps will count. So let's see. First across in the checkers is going to be 6th place Robert Taylor. Let's check on him. Where is he at? He's yellow in sector 2. Well, let's see if he can move himself up a little bit. Currently in 6th. Look at him cut that apex. Does he move up? Purple in sector 3, but he completes it, stays in that sector. So let's get a look at Gilles as he's coming around. He's also in a Porsche. It's going to be a good Porsche GTE battle today. 3 Porsches against Roman and then the Silva Jones. So that's going to be that. Let's see where we at. Number 9 plates right now. Carl Strohals coming across in the P2s. He's getting ready to cross the start finish, and let's see if he can move himself up. Currently in 9th. And he keeps himself in 9th. Pichler in 8th. He'll be next to cross. That middle section's kind of taking these guys apart. It's all that twisties in there. As Pichler comes across, will he move up? Currently in 8th, and he's going to hold on to 8th. Let's see, what else do we have here? 7th. Lewis Middleton calling it a day. Robin Taylor's in 6th. He's in already. Costas, he's giving it up. Peter Jones has still got a bid for it. He's purple in sector 2 and only 0.017, or is that 37? 0.037 off in sector 1, which was still a green. So he's down. And he puts himself in second. Nicely done with a 157.8. All right, Peter Jones. So I think we are there. The field is set. Let me set the order. Starting order. Starting order is set. So there we go. And Jones is on a. Oh, yeah, he's done. He's done. So that's it. We're going into practice or warm up rather. Oh boy. So some times to beat out there. We're definitely beat. That was really competitive there in that last section. Carl Middleton taking the pole on his last lap. Peter Jones in second, Nick Westy in third, and Montage in fourth. Costas Contazoris, Robin Taylor, Lewis Middleton in seventh. Fischler Nate Strohal in ninth, Michael LaBelle in 10th, Randy Merrick in 11th, and Andrew Harper in 12th. That will be for your P2 class as we head into warm-up. And then, of course, in the GTEs, we got Roman Granadovic took the pole. And, yeah, let's get a look at some of these, what these guys might be using for tires here. So, there you can see as they start to come out. Big shout out to Woody for helping us out with the graphics on these broadcasts. He sent me some JSON files so I could get the tires to actually show up. All the cool custom colors on this leaderboard are all from Neil Wood, Woody TV, hooking us up. He's also broadcasting the AC event on Thursdays, so you want to get a good look at that. It's really fun. And he's also the backup for this event in case one of us can't make it. He will be second to bring us a broadcast here in the SRO World Series. All right, kind of getting a good idea. Medium tire looks like the choice. Follow the speedy Roman Granadovic. 5 minutes of warm up for these guys. Like I said, they probably got the tanks full. 90-minute race, so there's going to be at least one pit stop, if not two. I think we had a couple last race 2 weeks ago. And this is the Asian circuit here that this series. It's an Asian series. All these tracks are 6 events in Series 2 of the World Series, and it's all the 2025 Asian series. Let me turn this off. It's going to really be tricky as we're watching right here. It's going to be hard for these P2s to get around with all these tricky turn sections. So they're really going to have to practice patience, and we're going to have to see some well-behaved drivers today. And hopefully we'll get that. As you can see from the bumper view here of Granadovic. The P2s come roaring through. So Middleton's on the softs and Jones is on the softs. I remember this from last race that Middleton also did some opposite tire stuff than the rest of the field. And it was kind of a battle of whose tires are going to last the longest. I think we'll hook this thing up to an auto cycle. And we will cycle, let's say, 10, 15 seconds. So you can see the gap to the leader, the gap to the next driver, and such. And that will help us out as we come down to the last minute and a half of warm-up. The traffic is intense out here. Let's get a look at Andrew Harper. He's in that red and white and black P2 44. Randy Merrick. Now, Randy had some computer problems, but he usually has a custom skin. So, yep, there it is. Let's get a look at Randy's car here. MR Racing, MRG is his team. I don't see any of his teammates in here today. I think 1 or 2, right? Woo, as he gets a little crossed up. Let's say, who says you can't grip the P2 car? What? Yeah, we got Costas and Randy, both from MRG in this race. So a couple of guys, 3 guys from Gear. That's John Vandergeest, Tony Talvitier, and Da Silva. So Team Gear is getting ready to kind of dominate the GTE class if they can, as the final seconds of warm-up are coming to an end. All right, these guys are parking it. Jones is still out there. All right, we are about to hear the most famous words in sim racing as the checker flag is now out and get this race started. Excuse me. Still suffering from this cold that I've had for 3 weeks now, but I'm not. Non-essential personnel leave the grid now. There we go. Wow. Are we having a night race? Ah. I didn't read anything about this. This is going to be epic. It looks like it's going to be a dark start. Holy smokes. How you doing? As the lights are coming on, what do you know? Here come the circuit lights, so at least the street lights are coming on. As also the cars get in. With that said, this is going to be a manual formation lap in the dark. So nobody's jumping off at the start. They will start a pace lap here. You can kind of see what tires are on. Well, let's go. We will have a look at the starting order. So here we go. In first, P1, Carl Middleton, Ace Motorsport. Peter Jones, Independent. Nick Westy, Black Cat. Matej Descobler in race performance. And then fifth is Costas Cantasaurus. Sixth is Robert Taylor in Black Cat Motorsports. Seventh, Lewis Middleton. Eighth will be Philip Kuschler. In ninth, Carl Strohal. 10th, Michael Lavelle. 11th is Randy Merrick. And 12th is Andrew Harper. Then for the GTEs, we have Roman Granadovic at the fastest lap for the GTEs. Tony Talvitier in the Porsche right behind that, Austin. And then another Porsche, Jean Vandergeest, followed by Ed Jones and Gilles Da Silva, as they are getting in the midst of Sector 1 here. So that is your starting order. And holy smokes, what is going to happen today in this night race? Now, it might be a night today. I can't remember. I didn't. I should have read up on this. I've been really busy this past couple weeks. I do coach girls volleyball at my school, and we've had an intense last couple weeks. That's been taking up all my time. As we are 2-1 and tied for first place right now. So, through Sector 1 into Sector 2 on the warm-up lap. You guys are heating up those tires. It's got to be, I don't know what the track temps are at this point in time. Here are the GTEs close behind. Going to be quite the, there's 5 cars in the GTEs that made it today due to personal reasons. And there is Tony Talvitier in that blue and turquoise Porsche, followed by the Porsche of Jean Vandergeest. And then, of course, Ed Jones right there. Looks like he's in the vet today. And Gilles Da Silva. As they are about ready to enter Sector 3, the leaders. Kind of the LG sign right there is about right where the sector line is. So this is Sector 3 they're in now. The last few turns as we get ready for the start. Now the starts will start right at the exit of that last turn 18. As they're coming around 17. About ready to start, and we are racing. Here we go. It's pedal to the metal as the P2s are putting their throats up. You can see a good battle there. as Westy's all over the back of Peter Jones, and he's looking to the inside already. He's going to make that pass, and Westy jumps right in second, but he goes a little wide, takes it off, and Jones maintains. Now Westy's losing positions. Oh, we've got another spin. Who is that that's off? Holy smokes. And then let's check the GTEs as they make it through. And Granatovich. So the GTEs have made it through. And a Westy now currently in third. Is another tip for tat there. As him and Costas are getting into it. And now Costas and Matej are side by side. With Taylor right behind him. So the two red P2s, Costas Contasaurus and Matej. And Matej gets his nose in there first and takes over that third spot. With Costas, Robin Taylor, and Lewis Middleton all right back there for the challenge, grouped up. You can see there is Lewis right there. Here's the view from Lewis. As you can see the moon up there. Oh my gosh. What a crazy start. Good stuff. And meanwhile, back towards the back, we got Merrick and LaBelle are fighting for these last couple of 9th and 10th, the payout spot. And Lewis Middleton has got the pressure on Taylor. Wow, what a start. I'm just happy to see everybody made it. Everybody made it through. There was a couple of nicks and bumps and scratches there, but here is your leader, Carl, finishing that first lap. So Middleton out front. He's got himself a nice little gap there, a couple seconds out front of Westy already as they cross the line. Here they come. The 2:02.2 is the fastest race lap so far for Middleton in those softs, so the softs are paying off. Also, Merrick, Peter Jones, and Michael LaBelle in the back here are having a little bit of a fight. And Merrick on those softs is going to take advantage. He goes to the inside. No, that was LaBelle. Or Jones, rather. No, where am I? Yeah. Where it happens, Merrick in 11th, and it's only displaying the top 10. That's what's throwing me off. All right. We'll have to adjust that later. So Merrick currently in 11th. And Peter Jones was the one that had the off at the start. So that's what happened in the beginning. It was Peter Jones being right here in this black group. And meanwhile, up ahead, Fischler is putting some pressure on Lewis Middleton. This is the Middleton Costas group. They're all pretty tight up there. And then jumping back to the GTEs, Telvitier is all over Granatovich. So this is going to be the battle of the day for the GTEs. These two just go edit. We got 90 minutes of racing. So let's hope that these guys can keep it together, because this is going to be a great GTE battle. As you can see, Tony just sticking with him. Excuse me. Granatovich has so much pace in this car that it's really tough for anybody to stay with him. But Telvitier is right there with him, equally pacing him. Just a few hundredths separated them. So this is going to be some good racing. Oh, we got somebody out. Sorry, Harper. Harper has bid it. Harper's having a yard sale. He's got parts all over the place. Andrew. Man, what a tough break. Can he make it? It looks like he is stuck. He could be stuck right there. So, it's going to be unfortunate for Andrew. But meanwhile, we've got some things going on here with Merrick, Jones, and LaBelle. This three-way battle for 9th place. You see from the view of Randy Merrick as they come down the straight here. I think this is the back end straight. Just looking for a way through. As they come through the dark. Nice three-way battle for these guys. Merrick's trying to keep pace. And it looks like Andrew Harper has withdrawn from, had the DNF after that. Sorry to see you go, Andrew. It was great that you showed up, though. But meanwhile, out front, Middleton just having a Sunday drive. He has gapped everybody. He's got almost 6 seconds now on second place Nick Westy, who's got a little bit of pressure from Mataj staying with him. And so those softs for Middleton are really paying off in the beginning. Let's see how long that holds on. Because in the next 20, 30 minutes or so, it might be the difference between the mediums and the softs. We just won't know until we see it. So let's see, back to the tail end of the P2. So here is Randy Merrick chasing down Michael Labelle and Peter Jones. Oh, here is Peter Jones right there. He was the victim of that first lap, first turn off as we saw that white car go. That was it. And Costas is putting some pressure on Robin Taylor now for 4th place. That said, I will give you guys a look at the track map so you can see, kind of follow along what's going on. And Aaron Daly says, we love you, Carl Middleton. Yeah, we got Carl Middleton fan in the chat, so that is good to see. We'll pass that along. He is definitely out in front, putting it together. All right, let's check back to the GTEs as here is Tony Talvitie. There's the gap to Roman Granatovich. These guys are going to be racing, but Costas and Robin Taylor are really tightening this thing up. This is a really tight battle here. All 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, they're all getting within, a few seconds, those gaps. Wow, so it's Nick Middleton. He's like 8 seconds out front now. This is the battle for 2nd with Mataj has caught up Nick Westy and is giving him the business here. As he's staying close, as you can see on the track map, they're starting to spread out. You see, as you look up there, the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, those are the GTEs way back there. And then in 10th place, we have Michael Labelle. You can see him on his own, but this group right here has kept it tight. Here is Costas. This is the battle for 2nd place. They're going down that secondary straight. This is the longest straight on the course. We go to this hard right-hander, hard on the brakes. Tire wear is going to be crucial, I think, at the end of this. I don't know how much rubber this track is eating, but with all those turns and everything, you can see the grouping. You got 2nd, 3rd, and then 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th are all back there fighting. As he is definitely all over Westy. Westy's playing defense right now. And just behind them, right back here, Pichler's making a bid for 6th place on Lewis Middleton. No love for Lewis, just the love for Carl in the chat. Join us in the chat if you're on the YouTube. Go ahead and head on in there. We will pass along any messages you want. As these guys duke it out. Let's see. Mataj still up above here, though. Pressure is real for Westy. As they're coming through Sector 3 now. Into this right-left section here. This kind of a big U-turn. they make it through there. But meanwhile, Tony Talvitier, let's jump back here really quick because Talvitier has gotten within a second of Roman Granatovich in this GTE race for the top. These guys are really duking it out. So Granatovich being able to hold that gap, but Tony just staying right with him. So we'll check back on those guys as this battle for second place continues. Let's see if I can find us that cool camera view from the back of Westy's car. Oh, you can see Matej right there through the gap through the wing. Down this straight, the secondary straight into the turn. Hard on the brakes to glow. Heating those tires up as well. Got some pretty cool views here. The one I'm looking for is this one. There we go. So he's increased the gap a little bit. Perhaps since looking to the inside is Matej. And of course right behind him is Taylor. So teammates Robin Taylor and Nick Westy separated by Matej. As you can see, Westy gets a really good exit there. Picks us up a gap. So let's jump back to this Tony Talvitier battle. He's making a bid for the lead. This is Talvitier's bid for the lead. They're drag racing side by side. Oh. And it's Talvitier's got a nose on him as they head into the treacherous right-hander. Granatovich is on the inside, but Tony's hanging on. Granatovich finds himself trailing now as Tony puts the move on him, a brilliant move down the straight. So maybe that Porsche has a little bit less wing or something, but man, I think this is the first time Granatovich has not led a lap in a couple of weeks. So yeah, he's saying, hey, come back here, Tony, I got something for you. Great job, Talvitier. What a pass in that Liberty Porsche. Hitting up our sponsor, Liberty Footwear. Nicely done. Excuse me. As these guys separate a little bit, let's get back up to the second place battle here. Wesley, somebody's off here. What do we got? Peter Moto, that's 2, 3, and 4. So Matej has gotten around Westy. And now Westy's teammate is battling for that spot, and he gets around him as well. He's got a nose on him, at least coming into this turn, as they head into that treacherous turn. Yeah, nicely done. And they're also battling right behind these guys. Let's not forget about this battle here. For 5th place, Kostas Katasaurus in 5th. Right there with Lewis Middleton and Philip Pitchler right in tow. So the battle continues. And looks like Talvitier was able to put a little bit of a gap on Granatovich there. But would you look at Carl Middleton? Holy smokes. He is some 16 seconds ahead now. Carl, this is what a little bit of love from the fans give them. But I'm worried about the tire wear. If he builds himself up a pretty good gap, he might have enough time to box and get that handled. But man, it's going to be close. How long he can make those tires last, we don't know, but we shall find out. As the battle behind him now, Taylor in 3rd, Westy in 4th, and Katasaurus in 5th, with Matej, our new 2nd place driver, right there, being able to gap Robin Taylor and Westy, which they might be sharing setups, the two Black Cat teammate. I would assume so. We shall see. We've got more DNFs. Oh, Merrick is now also out. Schill is out. And Andrew Harper's out. So we've got 3 out now as we take up the tail end of the P2s. With Pitchler just behind this battle with Lewis Middleton and Kostas and Nick Westy. So Westy is in trouble. Nick Westy is in trouble. He's just falling back farther and farther and farther as these guys are just getting around him. Looks like we're going to have another pass. He's trying to hold on. I don't know if he had a flight off. tires are already toast. Maybe he's got a flat spot. I don't know. But he has dropping like a rock down the field, and it looks like somebody's going to the inside. Costas takes a look. Westy defends. They're into the twisty section. Really technical. Left, right, left, right, left, right, 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 left. Holy smokes, it just never ends in here. But Westy's going to have to regroup here. Hold that position. It's Costas. It's climbing up his tailpipe. And then Middleton, Lewis variety, also right there. And Philip Pichler just behind them. So, man, it's really a bummer about the 3 DNFs. The field is already a little bit smaller than normal. But hey, you got to survive in these races. I'm surprised we haven't seen any more crashes, to be honest. It's about time now for, as Carl Middleton has already gotten through Ed Jones. So starting to lap the GTEs. We can see these 4th, 5th, and 6th guys are just battling. Good tight racing here in the middle. As Westy tries to hold on. Westy looks like he's regrouped a little bit. He's got himself back together. And then just ahead of him, his teammate Robin Taylor is sticking with Matej to try and keep that battle for second place alive. And Carl just runs away with this race at this point in time. And also Talvitier has had a mishap. Granatovich has gotten ahead of him again, so he must have had an off that I missed. It's so tough to cover up both these classes, but as you can see, Granatovich is back in the lead. So there must have been a mistake. The last lap on Tony was a 2:13 versus a 2:10 for Granatovich, so that something happened in the middle there where Talvitier had it off or something. But meanwhile, back to this 6th, 7th battle in the P2s. I believe that's Pichler in the middle there between Peter Jones back in the back. So here is Pichler currently in 7th with Lewis and Costas just ahead. And Matej is caught up to Taylor. So Matej now putting the pressure on. Taylor is going for the pass, and he does get that spot, so there goes second place for P2. Matej has just driven right around Robin Taylor, so perhaps he's suffering from the same woes as his teammate Nick Westy. Maybe it could be setup related, as they are coming up on what looks like the GTE of Ed Jones. As 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are all pretty close together now. So there is Matej, there is Taylor. And they've caught Jones, so they're going to get around the GTE. Luckily, it's down the straight. Great place to pass. As Matej clears and Taylor clears. And Westy will be next, coming up just behind. As Matej, it's going for the bit on the outside. It's Costas. Oh, and Costas gets it all wrong. Loses under the bridge, gets it all wrong again, and crashes into Pichler, I believe that was. So Costas gets it all wrong. Finds himself at the tail end of that group now. He's going to have to do some catching up. Hopefully the damage isn't too bad. Looks like the steering wheel's still straight. So hopefully he will be okay in this. But that was costly. That was definitely costly. Meanwhile, Talvitier is going to have to regroup here. See if we can catch Roman. It's only 2.5 seconds back or so, so it is possible. Meanwhile, back over to this battle, Lewis now challenging Nick Westy, as well as just ahead of these guys is Matej challenging Robin Taylor. So it looks like he's kind of find a way. He's all over him. Bumper cam. Holy smokes, these guys are so tight. That's got to be messing with the downforce on Matej's car, but it looks like he's going to find his way around. It's any way possible. They're coming ready for the start-finish straight, so he's got a little bit of a gap as he's coming up on, it looks like Jean Vandergeest. That is Vandergeest. As the P2s get around him. And they spread out just a bit. Meanwhile, Carl's gap is now 23 seconds. I think he's got enough for a pit stop. He might be able to come out ahead if he plays his cards right. But this mid-battle here, as Vandergeest is now confronted by Nick Westy, Lewis Middleton, and Fischler. There's Fischler just back there getting through Vandergeest. Nicely done, Mr. Vandergeest, getting through with no woes. Everybody made it through, so you see it takes a few laps to catch up. So with the 18 turns and the amount of kilometers this track is, it takes a minute for him to get through the GTEs. So we will see that again in about 10-15 minutes, as we are just 68 minutes remaining in this race. Tesh still challenging Westy. It looks like the sun is going to be coming up here. It's starting to lighten up. The sky's lightening up. So this is a good transition night to day race. Exciting. Speaking of night to day races, coming up next for the LMU series at Sim Racing Online, we have the GT3 Masterclass series featuring 6 different races, 2 of which will be daytime to nighttime transitions. The race at Spa and the race at Le Mans. Spa will be an afternoon start with the evening finish, and Le Mans will be a night start with a morning finish, just to get the day-night transitions of LMU. And that is open for registration, so if you're into LMU and you have the time, jump on that. That'll be Saturday night racing at Sim Racing Online. So get yourself signed up for that. Also, tomorrow we have AMS2 Formula 3 Monday night racing, and that race is 30-minute sprint at Nürburgring Sprint. It's a DLC track, but you do not need to own the track to join us. The host gets on board with the track, then you are able to race on any DLC track as a client, as long as the host owns the track. So that's tomorrow. If you've got AMS2, if you're into AMS2 racing, jump on that. Good stuff. Also, we also do some, actually, Project Cars 2 has a race on a Tuesday night at Brno. It's the Ferrari 4088 Challenge. That's coming up. And then that Thursday night, or no, Sunday is the Formula Renault. That's what it is. Formula Renault is Sunday, May 11th. And the RSS Formula 1979 V8 Championship is the Assetto Corsa, brought to you live broadcast by Neil Wood, and that will be Thursday, May 15th at 1900 hours, I believe, quali starts. So lots going on at Sim Racing Online, as this battle for 4th and 5th, just behind the battle for 2nd and 3rd, as there is Nick Westy currently in 4th, and Lewis Middleton is all over him. As the sky lightens up, nice, beautiful sunrise coming. in South Korea, about 250 kilometers from Seoul, Korea, this circuit. So Talvitier still holding on to that 2-second gap to make up. I'm really sorry I missed what happened as Tony made that brilliant pass to actually get ahead of Roman. But as you can see, it didn't last very long. And let's look at the tail end of the P2's Carlos Roja hanging in there. And Michael Labelle also still alive in this P2 challenge. And meanwhile, back to this mid-pack battle. We got Taylor just ahead of Mataj. So Taylor's done a really good job as he came, I think, back from 5th place to get around his teammate and the rest of the gang to grab that P2 position as we're just 63 minutes or so remaining. Long way to go in this one. So the pit stops are inevitable at this point in time. Some crazy business. I have a little test here. I'm going to see if this mid-race results page works. So I'm going to click it, see what happens. Yes, okay, this is the mid-race result. You can see there's your positions right there. Get us on page with everybody. So there you have it. So Middleton, way out there on those softs. Carl, that is. Ha! And he just set another fastest lap. So 1:59.8 is the fastest lap. So they're still a good second off of their queue times, but that's to be expected as they're probably qualifying with no fuel, right? Oh no, go away. I'll give you the trap back. Heads are starting to get lighter. Let's check in on Westy because he had that trouble and now he is currently hold on to that 4th position. And it looks like Lewis has dropped off a little bit, Middleton. As well as Pichler. Herr Pichler is just behind there holding on to that 6th place. With Costas in 7th. Just right back there he is in the 24. And then Peter Jones had that unfortunate off at the start. We know his pace was really good, so I'm curious if he's going to be able to catch up unless he has some damage. Let's jump on board with him really quick. Looks like he is struggling with this car. Holy smokes. This could be part of the reason. That is a lot of input to just make it around. Of course, this part of the track is really treacherous. So, tire wear perhaps? We don't know. But here is Taylor. Oh, playing a little defense now as Mataj as they catch up with Tony Talvitier in the GTE there. About to go through 2nd and 3rd. It says Tony stays, hold his line as he's supposed to, and let these guys get around him. And no funny business here. Don't be messing with the flying fin. You will hear about it. There you go. Nicely done. Don't slow him up. All right, good job. As you can see, Granatovich is just there ahead too. So there is the look from Mataj's hood as the sun is starting to come up. Oh, this is some good tight racing. See if we can get a shot here. Get that. It looks like De Silva had headset problems, let down by again. He says, disappointing, great track and a night race. What could be better? Oh, yeah. and working VR headset would make it better. So tough luck on Gilles. That is what happened to him, why he DNF'd. His headset failed again. So, man, as these guys are getting through, Telvitier back there, as you can see, he's dealing with these P2s getting through. And sorry to hear you had those troubles. Yeah. Better get that looked at. Nothing worse than technical difficulties. Ask Randy Merrick. He had some serious PC issues and was down for almost a month. We'll have to get with him to see what the result was. But anyway, Lewis Middleton challenging Nick Westy as they get through the two GTEs. And that little bit of a traffic jam allowed Talvitier to get the gap down a little bit as they go through that tight last turn 18. So the gap to Ganatovich is back to under a second now at 0.8. So Talvitier is right there again, perhaps to make another charge for the lead. So you can see how the one cool thing about multi-class racing is that, you know, anything can happen with it. It just brings them all together. So there is the battle for the lead in GTE with Talvitier back in action. Hold on to your ears. It looks like he's got the straight line speed. You know, usually those Porsches are just killing it in the turns. But I think Tony's got some really good straight line speed. But that Austin, he's got the horsepower. The throats of that Austin. Really nice. As Carl is getting through some of the GTEs now. Just in fact lapped Michael Labelle in the other P2. In the 13th place P2 car. You see there. So I'm looking so far this is the battle on track. As you can see the track map, everybody is really spread out now. Oh, pit stops are imminent. You see that is Costas Cantazouras about to make his way through the GTEs now, but he's in that horrible section of left, right, left, right, right, left, 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 right, left, right. It's just, like I said, it never ends. Kennedy. But the track designer, Mr. Taiki, said, hey man, we're going to put some turns in here. It's really interesting how this track, it was $250 million that Bernie Ecclestone made a deal with the Korean F1 manager back in 2010 when this track was brand new to bring F1 here. They only raced here for 3 or 4 events, and then it was deemed, this is not my words, I'm reading this, it was deemed a debacle due to low attendance and such, and pretty much that was the last race. I think it was in 2013 for F1 anyway at this circuit, which is really an awesome circuit. You look at it. As these P2s are getting through these GTEs. Here comes the next. As everybody gets through and nobody gets hurt. So that is the 7th and 8th cars of Costas. Costas gets through. Excuse me. The last one alive. We are under 60 minutes now at 56 minutes. So I'm going to keep an eye on our leader, Carl Middleton, who's got 37 seconds on the field. This is unheard of. Carl, what in the heavens of Betsy are you on? What are you doing? How did you, what spaceship did you get beamed down from? He's putting up alien lap times. He's got a 1:59.8. The next closest lap time in the P2s is, looks like a 2:01.5. Yep, a 2:01.5. 2:01.72 by Peter Jones is the next fastest. So third fastest is Peter Jones, who had that incident. Here he is. He's way back. So Jones currently in 8th, though. He's made his way past Labelle, Strohal, and Merrick, who is out, of course. So as daylight comes upon us, soon the lights will be out for the last 40 minutes of this race or so. Guys, keep it alive, and here's the Talvitier. Lost a little bit. That gap's back to over a second now to Granatovich, so hopefully Tony can keep it together, keep this thing tight. But Middleton, it looks like he's good, looking to get around Westy. I wonder if the Middletons are sharing setups. I would think so, but except Lewis is on the medium, of course. Only Carl is on the soft side. Dying to see what kind of tire wear he has. And I am keeping an eye on him to see if he's going to come into the pit at any time soon. Because if he can make it a one-stopper on the softs, that's the race. Because he's made it this far. So it's about a, we're not halfway yet. We're definitely through 1/3 of the race. Oh! Woo! We saw Lewis getting a little sideways there. Hang on to it, Lewis, as the sun is peeking over the Korean countryside. Man, good job holding on to it, Lewis, as Carl crosses the start finish yet again. Staying out on those softs. He just keeps putting the laps in. He's all by himself, man. As you can see, his Liberty Footwear sponsor on the dash there. Very nicely done. Second place, Mataj, with Taylor in tow. Just holding on to that about a second gap there. But I think what is Strohal and LaBelle having a little bit of a run back here. So these guys battling in the back, 12th and 13th position in the P2. So we got a little bit of a race going on here. As Michael LaBelle has caught Carl. And he's under a second gap, just about 0.8. Coming behind, so Michael said, I'm liking it when the sun comes out. He's able to catch Carl. So we'll see what happens there. Then meanwhile, up ahead, Westy's hanging on to 4th place. Lewis still staying with him. And Pichler also in the mix here. These guys are pretty much evenly gapped at 4th, 5th, and 6th. 2nd and 3rd, however, are a little bit tighter. As Taylor keeping Matej in check. It just takes one little mistake, and Mr. Taylor's going to take that spot. As the sun is now up. Back to this battle with LaBelle. Strohal. And then, of course, we've got the GTE battle with Tony and Granatovich. Is Granatovich. There with the sun coming up. Crank it up. See the moon there. Sun on one side, moon on the other. We've got the whole solstice. That was crank it up time. And here is Taylor in pursuit of P2. As you can see, I think was that Westy just getting through the GTE of that is Ed Jones in that Corvette. currently in 4th place behind Vandergeest. Let's get a look at John. We haven't seen him for a while. Holding on to that P3. Oh, we've got a spin right there. Who is it? Who was that? Was it Jones again? Or was it LaBelle? Yes, I think it was LaBelle. LaBelle was in that great battle. Oh, now he finds himself parked. Don't tell me he's going to withdraw, and he is out of the race too. So there's our 4th DNF. Holy smokes. Oh. But the race goes on. It's the battle for P2. Now they're coming up on Vandergeest. We're in this tricky little section. Taylor's right on his bumpers. He's drafting through. Is he going to make a move to the inside? And Taylor takes the spot, and then Mitesh takes it right back. Tip for tat. They're battling. And that brings Westy into the picture as well. Westy and Middleton are battling right behind him as these guys are drag racing into that turn. And Westy stays to the outside. Mitesh holds on. It's Westy. It's Mitesh. It's Westy. It's Mitesh. Holy smokes. What's going to happen here? Oh, on the outside is Mitesh and Westy. Or I'm sorry, Taylor. I keep calling him Taylor, but Taylor gets it all wrong. Taylor had the inside. I meant to say Taylor that whole time. Disregard the Westy comment. But man, so Mitesh comes out on top. Wow, that was some serious drag racing going on there. And here is the aforementioned Nick Westy back here with a mirror full of Lewis Middleton as they get through Jean Vandergeest in the GTE. There's a little bit of a pick, and these guys are tightening it up. Here is Middleton. Making a bid on Westy, so wow. The Black Cat Motorsports guys are both involved in some heavy battles. Westy and Taylor. Mitesh coming out on top for the 2nd place, and what's going to happen here? They try to get through this gnarly, twisty section here. Come down to the last couple turns between the start and finish. This is turn 16, 17, and 18. Oh, here he comes. He's all over him. He's got a good draft. He's going to try to stick on the outside. Is he going to do the over-under? He goes for the over-under. He dives to the inside. Nicely done by Westy to keep his start away, but there's still a little bit of a gap, but not quite enough. Not this time. As Lewis all over him at this point in time. He's going to try again. He's coming up to this next turn. It's going to put him on the outside. Go for the over-under again as Lewis could stay with him. That's a great shot with that sun coming up. As the battle continues. And who is that right behind them? Okay. It's Fischler? Yeah. Yep. Still Fischler's car. I think it really threw me off because at nighttime it looked like it was all blue, and now it's black and gold, so it was really throwing me off. But he's just sitting there like a shark in the water waiting for some blood. As there is the blood right there as Lewis gets it out wrong. Was that a quick tap? It threw him out and allowed Fischler through too. It just threw him off, probably hard on the brakes to avoid an incident. But meanwhile, in the GTEs, Tony Talvitier just made the pass on Granatovich as that was going on. So once again, Talvitier finds himself out in front of Roman Granatovich. As we are getting close, we're at the halfway mark right now. 45 minutes remaining and no pit stops. That on there. Wow. That was something else. Yep, no stops, and those medium tires are hanging on. I can't believe Carl so far out front. As this battle, the GTE lead, Talvitie and Roman Granatovic, something else. So, Carl Strohal still in it in 11th place P2. Vandergeest still in 3rd place in the GTEs, and Ed Jones in 4th. We got the 4 DNFs now. LaBelle, Merrick, De Silva, and Harper are all out. Things have settled down a little bit, and now Lewis finds himself in 7th. Or 6th, rather. This is Costas we're looking at now. Costas is in 7th. Westy still in 4th. After all that, Nick Westy has maintained that 4th position ever since the beginning, the first 10-minute mark, I believe. These guys fight. Now Roman's putting the pressure back on Talvitie. If that Austin has anything for that portion on the straight. Look, you get sucked up in that draft there. Could be a spot. It's just content to stay right with him. They go down the 3rd short straight, coming up to the big left, right section. Who has the advantage in the turns here? Hear the throats of that V8. Crank it up. As daylight is upon us. Newsflash, Carl Milton now has a 51-second gap. So I believe he can pit and get out and maintain the lead of this race. I don't know what in the heavens of Betsy he has been doing up there, but that's incredible. With a still of a best lap of 159.3504 for Carl Milton, your P2 leader. And Talvitie doing some defending here for Granatovic. Just waiting for a mistake. Trying to force one. And he's looking to the inside. Wow, this is really good racing right here. This is a tightened up battle. As Tony gets the advantage there, pulls away a little bit coming out of that sector as they come across turn 18. Head for the start finish. Letting the P2s through. There we go. Roman tries to maybe pick up a little bit of a draft, a little bit of help there. To the inside on Tony. As Tony goes wide, it's going to be another lead change. They are back tire to front tire. WTA by a nose into the grass though. Holy smokes. Hang on to it. Granatovic smells blood. Whoa. Hang on. The Flying Finn playing defense, doing a beautiful job. And that was the leader, Carl Middleton, that went through them right there, as you see in the foreground right there. There is your leader by 51.6 seconds. Some crazy business there. How in the heavens to bet the, I don't know. But Costas and Lewis Middleton are just ahead, and they're battling for P6 and 7 for the P2s. But I don't want to step away from this battle because, as you can see by the track map, this is pretty much the tightest one between the 6 and 7 battle for Lewis and Costas. So, yeah, they're down the straight now. That P2 battle is down the second straight. Of course, 8th place Peter Jones is right there behind him too. On this gap, I'll give you a quick look at that. Here is Peter Jones, and there is the two racing just in front of him as we get back to this battle. There is Talvitier. Got a nice little gap there, so Roman must have got it all wrong because that gap is just almost a full second now. And where is Carl? He gets through yet another lap without stopping as the leader. Carl just crossed the start finish once again. And here come the two GTEs across the start finish. So really curious as to when these pit stops are going to start. You can see your battle box. So Jones now just shoved up to the P2s. We got some cluster here. Jones is putting the pressure on Costas. And that's Lewis just ahead. We have a new faction flap in the GTEs. That's Tony Talvitier with the 209.209. So I'm at 209.209. And that 159.350 is still the fastest by your P2 leader, Carl Middleton. 6th, 7th, and 8th battling. 2nd and 3rd. So Taylor hanging with Matej Descobaler. And it looks like Tony's lead over Roman has stretched it a little bit to 1.3 now. 1.4, so I'm thinking it's about time to pit. Meanwhile, Vandergeest holding on to that 3rd place. He's going to set himself up for some good points today. If he can just finish it out where he is, he'll be quite happy. And Ed Jones letting the P-Class through in that mighty Corvette. Let's get a listen to that. Chevy V8 power right there. Holy smokes. Anyway, Roman now has closed the gap back to with under a second. And he's going to the inside gap. Oh, and oh! Tony shuts the door in a most professional manner. No contact, but definitely had position as Roman tried to take the apex there. See what happens. Try to outbrake him. Going to the inside again. Tony just taking it a little wide, allowing Roman to catch up. So he is all over him here. Going to the inside. Is he going to pull it off? Tony shuts the door again. No contact. But now they're in the twisties, and this is going to give Roman the advantage. But Tony stays on the inside and doesn't let it happen. But here he is again. Oh, these S-turns provide some epic racing. These guys are doing such a good job keeping off each other. So Middleton is pitted. Newsflash. Middleton, either he pitted, or he crashed because he's not in the lead anymore. Matej is taking over the lead. But meanwhile, back to this. Tony hanging on by a thread. Wow, we've got battle for the lead on both classes here. As Talvitier maintains. They're duking it out. This is some epic racing. So you can see Middleton has made his pit stop. And he came back out in 7th. So that 50 seconds was not as much of a gap as I thought it was going to be. Unless he had an incident that we missed, and that was part of the pit stop. As Granatovic is looking to the inside. Tony puts his car just in the right spot to defend. Didn't take it so wide that time. Didn't leave as much room for Roman to take advantage. As they head into this twisty section again, in the midst of Sector 2 here. Can hold him off. Great racing in the GTEs. We have another good race going on here, the P class. Let's just jump here really quick because these guys are all nutted up. This is Peter Jones. Remember, Peter had that incident. He's currently in 8th, trying to take 7th. As he looks to the inside, he's going to get it. He's got the inside spot, and he does take that 7th away from Costas. Does Costas have anything to fight back with? Costas fighting back. Puts him on the inside again, and now it's Costas. So these guys are switching back and forth. And I believe that is LaBelle back there. Oh, he gets a little sideways, so that's going to open the door for Costas. They're side by side. And Peter gets the advantage on this turn and stays to the inside. So Jones making a brilliant pass. Just ahead. Wow. Now, with that pace that he had in qualify, if he can keep himself out in front, as we've got another car off. Who was that? That was the 6th place car of Middleton. So now Middleton's in danger of losing. Jones, Costas are right behind. So 6th, 7th, and 8th are all right there. So they spread a little bit back to this GTE battle. Wow, some really good racing going on at the tail end. And also, before we do that, let's get to the tippy top, because these guys pre-pit stop. This is the lead battle, so not so far off. There's a little bit of a gap there. That's pretty good. So back to this GTE. Looks like Granatovic is trying to make a run here. He is in tow on Talvitier. They're heading down that crazy section now into Sector 2, into the twisties. Middleton's up to 5th now as Lewis has pitted. So the other Middleton is in the pits now. Going to move everybody up a little bit. I don't want to turn my interest away from this battle in the GTEs. It looks like keeping it tight. So Middleton, quick on him. Yep, he's still in the pits. Okay, so let's get back to this. Is he in the pits for good? He has gone dark. I wonder if Middleton had to retire. Nope, he's rolling. Okay, good news, because it turns gray on the track map, and I just gets confused as the 12th place car of John Vandergeest is going to meet him coming out of the pit. All right, no traffic there. So here we are back to this battle. Batage in 1st place. Goes through. 2nd place, Robin Taylor stays out. 3rd place, Nick Westy stays out, as does 4th place, Philip Fischler. So those P2s have not passed, but this is a pretty tight look by Roman. Trying to update on the pit stops. I know they're coming in quick. Peter Jones and Costas are about ready as Granatovic takes the inside and does retake the lead of this race as Tony gets caught on the outside. Granatovic goes inside out on Tony Talvitier, the flying Finn. Does he have anything for him coming back? Going for the over-under. tires could be playing an issue now for both these guys. Could be due for pit stop, because now they're heading into this twisty section. Does Talvitie have anything for him? So Granatovich takes the GTE lead back from Tony once again with a brilliant pass on the inside. And now we've got, wait for it, cheater bar. Yep, that is Descabler, the first place P1, trying to get through these guys. He's going to hold him up a little bit, allow Taylor to catch him perhaps, but Taylor's now caught behind Talvitie. So the difference is about the same. He's got to get around, but this twisty part of the track is a horrible place to be caught trying to get around the GTEs. So you got a little bit of a break right here. There's a little bit of a side straight right here. Go for it. Yep, he gets the break, gets through Granatovich. And then just behind him, Talvitie. Gonna let Taylor through right about here. Taylor should be able to open it up and get by now as they get around. Here he goes, and Taylor goes to the, what will be the outside, I believe, as they get through that. And here they come. So Talvitie kind of got the right end of that deal. That cost him a couple of, the gap is now just about a second. With that said, Roman gets through, and now Talvitie falls back in line. But we've also got another P2 class coming up. Is that Strohall? No, I think it's LaBelle. Nope, LaBelle's out. It's got to be Strohall. Lewis is back out. Here is Peter, currently in 6th now, with Costas on his tail. So the battle between Costas and Jones Cantasaurus closing in on the inside. As we are under 30 minutes remaining. Some really great battles so far today in this track. What an epic track. Very entertaining. All these twisty turns and everything. So, oh, woo! I thought he was going to get the kiss of death there on that bumper. But he has definitely got his sights on Mr. Jones. Jones pulls away a little bit. Now remember, these guys have not stopped yet. So when these 3 or 4 stop, it's going to put Carl back up on top, I believe. So let's just see what happens. Let's jump to the tippy top. The Scobelaire is coming down, and he stays out. Taylor stays out. Westy stays out. So the 3 current leaders are staying out. Meanwhile, Talvitie trying to keep Granatovich in the zip code as the P2s are charging. Who we got right there? That is Carl. So that was the man who has led the most laps in this race. Is trying to put the GTE class down again. As he gets through very clean. But he's not going to have enough room before the next turn, I do not believe. So you can see Middleton came back out on the softs, and the other Middleton, they're both on softs now. So Lewis took Carl's advice and is going to finish this race on softs. So that might have been his strategy all along. Start the mediums, go as far as you can, put the softs on and be quick at the end. That's a common theme. So the Scobelaire's out front now. Pretty good gap there. 5 seconds on Taylor. The pit stops are imminent, so these guys are going to have to come in. These guys that are on mediums, though, look at how much they can stretch their legs a little bit longer. So I'm curious, as he's into Sector 3 now, I don't see anything too pending as far as tight battles. It looks like Granatovich is at 1.2 out in front of Talvitia and the GTE, so I'm trying to keep an eye and see if this will be the lap where Matej pulls it in, and this will know right now out of this turn, and it looks like he's staying out again. So let's see what Taylor does. Taylor looks like he is staying out as well as Nick Westy. So we got teammates here. Westy has actually caught Taylor. So Westy's doing some of that driver stuff and really coming in tight. As we see Philip Fischler in fourth place, and leader Carl Milton has caught these guys, caught the back end pretty much of the yet to pit Philip Fischler. So that just shows you what the lead is going to look like after these guys do their pit stops. So meanwhile, Peter Jones and Kostas Katsadoris are still battling as they are coming up on John Vandergeest in the GTE, third place GTV in that Liberty Footwear sponsored Sim Racing Online Porsche. John's having a very consistent race today. Not a lot of battles, but he's going to do some point stuff. But let's jump ahead here because we got a battle for second place here. Teammates duking it out here for second place. No rules. As team owners are going to let him race, it looks like. I believe they're on similar setups too. They're in the same car. Oh, and Westy almost gets a piece of him. Oh, he's looking. Westy takes it around the outside. The new second place driver, Nick Westy, gets around his teammate, Robin Taylor. And he's coming in. Okay, so that makes it up. Taylor's in. So Taylor in for his stop. Fischler now battling with Carl, who's already made his stop. Carl looking for a way around on fresh tires, fresh softs. Should easily get around Philip Fischler. Should be able to do it on this next turn. We'll have a clean advantage with the fresh rubber. And there he goes. Well, Fischler says, hey man, I am sticking it with you as long as I can. But it's Carl by a nose. It's Fischler by a nose. They're side by side. Middleton looks like he's going to have the inside and take an advantage right here. But no, Fischler stays pretty tight on the outside. And then good job by Carl setting himself up for this twisty section. This is where the fresh rubber is going to pay off. And she should be able to run away right here. All right, we are spread out. There is Carl. Once this sorts out, he will be back in the lead as the P2s are getting through the battle for the GTE lead. That is, I believe that's Kostas, yeah. And that means Taylor out of the pits. So Descabler, will this be the lap that he pits? He's got to be getting close, man. Gonna find out. Where is that turn? And he's staying out again. All right. Westy's still out there. But meanwhile, Carl is now on the podium. Third place as he blasts by Ed Jones in that Corvette. He's just some 12 seconds off the lead now, is Carl Middleton. Of course, he hasn't pitted yet. We are talking about Matej. Holding on to first. I don't think Westy's hasn't pitted yet either. There is Ed Jones, currently in fourth in the GTE. So Talvitier, about a 1.2 gap now. Neither one of these guys have pitted yet either, so there's no way they can go to the end on those mediums. Or maybe, what's the range on the tank for these? I don't have my analysts with me today. It's Blit McCracken and Pat McRyan are my two trackside analysts, and neither one of them are present today. So I can't tell you how much fuel these things hold. I can tell you it's been some really good racing. And the P2s are all spread out, as you can see by the track map. There's a big gap between first, second, third, and fourth, and then a huge gap back to fifth, and then another huge gap back to sixth. So the tightest racing on track is this GTE class with Tony Talvitier and Roman Granadovic. Is this the lap Matej is going to pit? Here he comes. So the pitting from the lead is the Skobler. Is Westy going to follow suit? Westy's staying out. He's going to lead a lap. Westy's going to take over the lead right now. He comes around. Also, Pichler comes in. So Pichler pitting. Guys, what about Costas? He's way back there still. Here comes Roman and Talvitier. So Matej and Philip are both in the pits. Matej is done. He's coming out. Let's see where he's going to come out. I think he's going to stay on the podium. His fourth is still in the pit with the fifth place Costas. So he's going to hold on to that as he's coming up on Ed Jones. So meanwhile, as he gets through the GTE, Talvitier and Radovic, I'm really curious as to how these guys are going to work it. I mean, is it do the opposite of what the other guy does, or is Tony going to follow Roman in for the pit stop and have a battle coming out? We got a battle for fifth place out of the pit stops now. Here comes Costas. Comes out in sixth, though 13th. Strohal, he's coming out and maintaining 13th. As the seventh place car is Peter Jones is coming down. And he is out still. So let's check on these two knuckleheads. Sixth place cars getting through. Jean Vandergeest. Costas Cantadoras. Westy's coming in, so now pitting from the lead. That is going to put leader Carl back out front, and the gap is going to be huge. With just over 16 minutes remaining, the leader Carl Middleton back in front. Westy's in second. I'm curious to where he's going to come out, though, because here comes the third place car of Matej. And he's going to jump Westy here in the pits. And Westy is on his way out, but he's not going to beat him out. So giving up, but he is going to be close. So here comes Westy. So we might have a battle with this last 15 minutes or so for that third step on the podium. Meanwhile, the GTEs are sticking it out. They're staying out. Yet another lap of racing. See how this thing is going to pan out. These guys, the P2s are spread out, a massive gap. 22 to 23 seconds back is Matej. 28 seconds back is Westy. 49 seconds is Pichler in fourth. from the leader, Carl Middleton. He went softs, made those softs last a long time. So here we go, Talvitier. It's go time as we're under 15 minutes. As the fourth place car of Pichler has caught these two GTEs. Try and get around this battle. Not to interfere with this battle for first place as he gets a look on Tony. Don't mess it up. Right, Pichler gets through one. Can he get through the other one without causing a fuss? And he does on the outside, but that's going to be pretty dicey. And he pulls it off. That's the view from Talvitier. See, that section is so technical as Tony gets a little bit sideways there. So barring any incident, the P2 class huge gaps. It's third place Westy. Still quite a ways back from P2. So Jones, Middleton, and Strohall all on the softs. Lewis Middleton as well as soft. As Strohall, and LaBelle of course is out. But I was just curious to see. Jones is on the softs. Bernardovich, all right. Carl just way out front. Let's do a lap with the leader, Carl. Here he says, into turn one. Got that 1:59.3 is still the fastest race lap. He could probably better that towards the end here with low fuel. Yes, that car is just so dialed in. Look at how smooth he is in this section. He has just got that thing dialed. Into sector 2. Keeping an eye, looks like fifth place Robert Taylor is getting through Bernardovich and Talvitier. With no incident, it looks like. It's just between them now. As we're watching the leader, Carl, just how he has masterfully ran this race. He has not dropped a curb. I don't think he's made one mistake. Hold this amazing gap. As he comes into sector 3. See how well bounced. A little bit out of it right there. A little bit of gliding around. As he navigates sector 3. This tricky turn right here. Coming out of a brilliant lap. Nicely done. All right, let's check back with these two guys. The GTE battle. We got the sixth place car. Costas just next to get through these guys. Here is Costas. Oh, he tries to go off track. Don't hit Tony. Oh my God. Come on, Costas. What the hell? Oh man. That was not intentional, I hope. I mean, what the heck? Costas, you're way down. Man. I'm sure Talvitia is not happy at all about that last maneuver. Kind of blows his chances of making any kind of attempt to catch Roman. A silly move on the outside. Costas currently in 6th. Almost a lap behind 7th. There wasn't really anything to gain in doing that. Man. That should be a drive-through right there. Talvitia is just fuming, I'm sure. He's probably going to park it. You watch. He's going to park it. He's so mad. Unless he needed to stop anyway, right? Oh, that was not cool. So it's a splash and dash, it looks like, for Tony. Oh, let's see what happens with Bernardovich now. Man, what a bummer. I'm really sorry I witnessed that. I just didn't see any reason for such an aggressive, trying to pass so aggressively when you're almost a lap behind this next place in class. I don't get it. I'm sorry. That's my own opinion. I don't know the facts. I wasn't in the cockpit, but man, what a bummer. So I'm trying to follow Bernardovich here. He's a ways away from pitting still, but Carl's in the middle of these guys, so Middleton gets through Vandergeest. Wow. Let's see if Roman is going to pit now. He's in Sector 3 now, just crossing over into Sector 3. He'll be coming through to the start finish turn 16, 17 right here. Then the treacherous turn 18. Does he come in? He's holding it pretty tight. Looks like he's coming in, so this will be the difference. Now, if Roman decides to put tires, it might give Tony a chance to catch up. So Bernardovich is in. Talvitia coming up. Uh-oh, 13th place. Carl is off with a local yellow. Bernardovich is already rolling, so it looks like it was a splash and dash, maybe. Here comes Roman. Here comes Tony. Getting passed by GT, or by the P2. Come on. So he's able to gain a few seconds there, about a 6-second gap now to Roman. So let's see, as Carl gets through. And now the other Carl, Stroha, will be the next behind Tony. Who is Roman battling with? Stroha. Is that Lewis? So Lewis Middleton now on Carl, on Roman as he gets through. as the gap is now 3 with 5 minutes remaining. I think both of these GTE drivers skipped the tire change. They're making those mediums go all the way, I'm sure, because those pit stops are way too fast. Unless Roman got tires. Tony's was really fast, just a splash and dash. And there he is. He's not that far back now. The gap is only 3.7. But I think he's just out of time. Just over 4 minutes remaining. As Carl, the leader now, is getting through Ed Jones and another P2 class. I believe that's the 8th place car of Lewis Middleton. So Carl's going to get around Lewis here. But Tony's got the gap down to 2.8. He's really going to have to punch it. You can see he's got him in the zip code. Oh, I think everybody's rooting for Tony now after that raw deal that he got there with that misfortune. P2. Is there any hope? Carl got it around Lewis. Meanwhile, Peter Jones in 7th. Costas in 6th. Robin Taylor in 5th. All by himself. 4th place, Philip Hischler ahead of him. But it's quite the gap to make up there. Estelvita drops a little bit, losing some time on that last lap. The gap is now 3.1. There is Granatovich right there. And there's Tony. Judging by the pit stop times, if they hadn't had that, if Tony hadn't had that mishap, I think he would have come out in front. Because Tony had a way quicker pit stop than Roman did. As we are at the 2-minute mark, 2 minutes remaining as of right now. So the final laps are in. Carl Middleton way out in front. He's got 28-second gap on Matej. He's got about 2 seconds on Westy. Your top 3 in the P2 class. But meanwhile, Peter closing in on Costas for that 6th place spot. We are under 2.5 minutes, a minute 20 remaining. There is your leader, Carl Middleton. And there is your GTE leader, Roman Granatovich. Jones is closing in. He's closing in on Costas. Could be the last dash for position pass. 37 seconds remaining. Where is Carl? Carl is about to start the final lap with 30 seconds left. The leader crosses the line to start the final lap of this round 3 in Korea of the 2025 World Series, and it looks like he does get around, so Costas gives up the spot and gets it back. What's going on here? Now Jones fighting back. They are back and forth. Is Jones going to have anything for him? Oh, a little bump here, a little bump there. Peter looking for a way around. Fourth place car of Fischler crosses the line. 1 to go. It's a pretty intense battle right here. Vandergeest has a bird's eye view in the Porsche back there, watching this battle for 6th place. Costas holding them off. Oh, they get a little sideways, and another incident. Jones is off. And here is Granatovich. Meanwhile, Carl Middleton is about to take the checkered. Excuse me. Here he comes into turn 16 and 17 for the last time. Here is your round 3 Korea race winner, Carl Middleton. Just an outstanding alien performance today by Carl, finishing some 33 seconds out in front as he takes the checker. Nicely done, Mr. Middleton, your race 3 winner, championship of Korea. Here comes Bataj, trying to get through in 2nd place as he's battling with Granatovich. And Granatovich in 9th overall. He's going to take the GTE class win as he crosses the line and takes the checker for GTE. And here comes Tony right behind him in 2nd place. Oh, you got to feel for Tony on that, though, man. That was a rough go. As Vandergeest going to get himself a podium, 3rd place in the Porsche. Nicely done, Mr. Vandergeest. Ed Jones, 4th place. He's crossed the line. But meanwhile, Fischler coming through in 4th with Taylor in tow. Your 4th and 5th finishers right there. Oh, nicely done. And then Costas and Peter Jones that were fighting for that last lap. Costas came out ahead, and it looks like he is going to get the 6th place. Next across the line here. Costas taking the checkered. Peter Jones. And then here comes Carl Strawhall, finishing 13th overall. Woohoo! How you doing? I have a little bit of whiplash. There's your reward. So Lewis is parked, so that is it. Holy smokes. Vandergeest. Nice run by him. Who else is still out there? That's it. Costas taking a little bit of time there. So, yeah, a couple of incidents in this race. Curious to see what's going to happen here. Brilliant run by Matej and Westy. Good job all around. So, let's go. Let's take the final results here, if I can find this page. Results. Session results. Here we go. Race 1. Here we go. Session results are going. Middleton, Scobler, Westy, Pitchler, Taylor, Costas, Peter Jones, and finishing the last of the finishers, Lewis Middleton of the P2. Next page will be the GTEs, Vandergeest in 3rd, Ed Jones in 4th, and then the final finishers there with the DNFs. So the 4 DNFs. Let's go back to that first page. As you can see, your 9th and 10th overall, 1st and 2nd, Roman and Talvitia in the GTE. So there you have it. What a race. Holy smokes. Let's get a look at what's coming up next. Here is the schedule. So in 2 weeks, we will be at Shanghai for round 4. So make sure you get tuned in for that one. That should be something else, man. What a race today. So we'll sort all this out in the end and take a look at what's going on in the chat. It was a gallant effort by all and some amazing racing today. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. It was really something to watch. Very cool. And I hope that you guys join me in 2 weeks at Shanghai. So there we go. I will say good night and thanks for watching and thanks to our sponsors for at the footwear, Liberty Footwear. And yeah, that's it. We are out. I will see you in 2 weeks here.